Hey everybody, Jane here, and I'm doing a movie review of Instant Family. This movie is about a husband and wife who decide that they are going to adopt a child. They end up going to a adoption fair and meeting one particular child they're interested in, and then realizing that child comes with two siblings. This video shows kind of the ups and downs of adoption and fostering and some of the complexities, both within the children and the adults, and it really touched my heart in a lot of ways. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was very well done, really good, very funny at times, but also very heartbreaking at other times. I will say that the person who directed this, I believe, or maybe it was the producer, is an adoptive parent. So a lot of this is probably quite accurate. I hesitate to call it own voices because obviously a lot of people are involved in making a movie, but it seems like the person who was putting this together had a lot of personal experience with adopting children and being a parent of adopted children. I really enjoyed this, especially because adoption is something that's kind of always been in my world and is something I still might do one day. I currently have 2 biological children and they are my world. It is a ton of ups and downs parenting them, and I think as a parent, there's really great moments in this movie where it's not the couple necessarily adjusting to adopting children, it is the couple adjusting to having children. There's one scene in particular where the couple are going to bed and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted, the house is a mess, this is so hard, and I'm just like, parenting. Because whether your children come to you biologically or whether they come to you through adoption, parenting is not easy. It is a lot of work, a lot of energy, and some days are just rough. So I did think this was hilarious in parts like that where I could relate as just a parent. My children did watch this with me and they really enjoyed it. It also got to spark some conversations about what adoption is, what fostering is, that some kids aren't as lucky as, my kids are, as to have parents that they can live with. My kids have divorced parents, so that is a challenge they face, but me and their dad have joint custody, so they see both sets of parents, and, they're very fortunate because they have kind of too many parents instead of not enough parents to take care of them. So I really thought this was so much fun. I loved that it wasn't all good and it wasn't all bad. So one of the challenges that you sometimes get with movies about adoption is that everything is sugar-coated. For instance, with the Anne of Green Gables books a little bit, there's a little bit of sugar-coating going on about some of Anne's issues. Yes, she's got the red hair, and yes, she breaks the slate over Gilbert's head and things like that, but overall, she is a very good-hearted child who doesn't seem to have a lot of the emotional issues that can occur when a child is adopted. Whereas from what I've researched, a lot of children who are adopted nowadays anyway from the foster care system, they have a lot of emotional struggles, and sometimes that can come out in behavior problems. Not because there's anything wrong with the child, but just because that's a rough situation to be in. You may be separated from your siblings, you may be separated from everyone you know, your situation, your school, and you're trying to adjust to a family that is not really yours, at least at the start. So I think I really loved how this was done with the ups and the downs and the complexity that feels real from what I have read about adoption and was written by somebody who has done the adoption process. So overall, if you love stories about family, if you love stories about adoption and foster care and all of that, I highly recommend this video. This has been Jane. If you have enjoyed my content, please subscribe. If you've enjoyed this video specifically, please hit like. My social media is below if you would like to connect with me outside of YouTube. Also, I'm a writer, and my books are linked below as well on the Amazon and the Smashwords sites. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read some of my romances for free. This has been Jane. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.